Once is a coincidence, but if multiple sources are saying the same thing, it has to mean something. So, no, I won't sit here and tell you this bird or this opening proves AOE. It's all of these different sources working together that prove it. All of the evidence reinforces AOE. There is no point in Isayama adding everything I'm about to show you unless there is AOE. There is no point in misleading such a small portion of the fandom to this day if there is no AOE. So if you don't believe in it, be prepared to explain away all of these coincidences. Oh, welcome back to another Brown's Magics video. In today's video, I will be proving to you that AOE is in fact coming. AOE is inbound and there is nothing you can do about it. It's coming. Now, in order to close up all of the plot holes, AOE must contain these three things. Eren must complete the rumbling 100%. Ymir must be reborn, and no ship, no nothing like that, but Eren and Historia must end up together. And there are proof for these things. And I just want to reiterate that in order to close up all of the plot holes, all of the unanswered questions, these three things must happen. Eren will complete an 100% rumbling. Ymir will be reborn. And Historia and Eren will end up together. Now, if any of those things make you uncomfortable, it's not my fault. Also, I don't care. Isayama wrote the story the way he wrote it, okay? And if we are to assume that he didn't just put bullshit in there just because, which who would, right? He's been writing this story for 11 years. Give him more credit, please. So let's just go over the facts, okay? And if you disagree with any of these facts, don't worry. I got you. I got you covered. I will prove all of these things in this video. For these upcoming things I will reveal to you, just know that they are facts. I don't know the how, right? I'm not the author. I didn't write Attack on Titan. I'm just telling you the facts, okay? These are things that there is proof for. I don't know the how. I don't know all the inner workings, right? None of us know. None of us know. Only those who keep moving forward can know, right? Now, the first fact is Eren controls birds. Don't ask me how. I don't know how he does it, but he does, and there's proof. Birds are used to relay information and memories back and forth to Eren and to other characters. Again, I don't know how it works, but that's Isayama's job to explain in AOE. There are three main timelines, and within those three timelines, it is possible that there are sub-timelines. And on top of the timelines, there is also a whole fucking multiverse. There's AUs, whatever you want. It's all canon. Mikasa is aware of these timelines. She's aware of the time loop. Eren is going to be made aware in AOE. He either is going to be made aware or he's aware right now, in the anime right now. Previously, he was not aware, right? But in the anime, he will be made aware, or he is currently, where we are in the anime right now, he is currently aware of the time loops. The next fact, the anime is the final loop. This is the final timeline. This is his last. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. The next fact, Paradis will be abandoned. Paradis will be abandoned and the inhabitants will all settle elsewhere. In other words, there will be a new Paradis. The next fact is chapter 139 is the intentional inverse of the A&R ending, music video, A&R in general. 139 is intentionally the inverse of this. And then my last fact is Falco will play a bigger role in the story than he did in the manga. Now, that all being said, AOE has to happen. It has to happen, or else Isayama is a bad writer. And I'm sorry. Don't start crying yet, okay? I'm sorry if that comes across as harsh, but there are too many things that lead to the same conclusion. And if all of that was for nothing, then it's just weird. Like, I have nothing else to say about that. It's just actually strange. All right, I come bearing gifts, your table of contents. I understand it could be annoying or even overwhelming to see the length of this video and be like, ooh, I have to sit through this, but I already know about this or this or this, right? So I made a table of contents for you, included with timestamps and everything to make your viewing journey more better. So, chapter 1 will be my date with a doomer. Yes, this is real. This is not clickbait. Chapter 2 will be me explaining the bird theory and how this proves the points that I brought up earlier. Chapter 3 will be divided into 3 parts. Chapter 3, Chapter 3A, and Chapter 3B, which will all be discussing the music, the openings, and the endings. Chapter 4, we'll move on to Norse mythology, and then we'll, just an overview, guys. I'm not versed in this stuff, right? But I will just be tapping into the things that prove that A&R will happen as AOE. Chapter 5, we'll get into the multiverse. We'll get into proving that. Chapter 6, we'll have a little logic break, right? A little sprinkle in my thoughts, my predictions. Chapter 7, we're going to get into Isayama's personal life. Chapter 8, we're going to get into the omissions and the changes from manga to anime that prove A&R, prove AOE. And then Chapter 9, finally, we're going to tap into love, which is the highest predictor of AOE. Woo! Did you want some of this? Oh, no thanks. Got water. More for me? Oh, what am I pouring it for? I'm gonna drink the whole bottle. That's good. It's really good. So what's your favorite anime or show? Do you watch anime? You look like you watch anime. Do you? Oh, I don't watch much anymore. Oh, that's a bummer. My favorite anime is Attack on Titan. Yeah, it's wow. Brilliant. Like, the way it ended was just so good. I don't understand how a show can wrap up the themes that well. The cruel beauty of the world and Eren and Mikasa just perfectly encapsulating cruel beauty, and then Ymir, it turns out the big twist was she loved the king. I just thought it was so beautiful. He was so cruel to Ymir, but the beauty was that she loved him. It just made so much sense to me. I loved it. Yeah. Because a lot of people I know thought the ending was really, really, really bad. I don't usually ask this on the first date, but what's your opinion on AOE? What is that? Okay, I'll explain. AOE is an anime original ending, right? So for Attack on Titan, your favorite show, there's a lot of people who think that Attack on Titan could have an anime-only ending. That's not gonna happen. The manga ending is the bad ending, and that the anime ending is gonna be the good ending, or the true ending. That's what AOE is. So... I think it's gonna happen. No, it's not. No, I think it is. If you look at what Isayama was inspired by. Come on. Okay, I mean, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Okay, just like everyone is. But it's going to happen. Mark my words, it's going to happen. Why would I believe that that's going to happen, right? Get this. A bunch of people congregated on the internet with little to no evidence of this thing they call AOE, saying it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Why would I believe it? Isayama hasn't said it himself. I hadn't seen Isayama come and say it himself that there's going to be an AOE. So why should I believe it? He didn't say it himself. He didn't walk in front of a TV and say, "Hey, there's going to be AOE." So why should I believe it? If I don't see it, why do I have to believe it? Yeah, I think I'll take some of that drink now. Can I ask you another question? Sure. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in Jesus Christ, the Savior? Do you believe Jesus is coming? Do you believe?
Do you believe in God?
Why do you believe? Why? What? I'll be right back. I've got to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Just a quick little trip to the bathroom, alright? Okay. What? With no evidence, do I believe in God? Without the evidence, why do I believe? Was I the fool this whole time? Judging somebody for believing in something that they believed in just because I didn't see sufficient evidence? Am I the fool? What? So, even if I haven't seen it, AOE's possible? I can't accept this. My pride! No! I have to go on Twitter. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. Why would Isayama ruin what's perfect already? If it ain't broke, don't fix it! 139 GOAT! 139 GOAT! Chapter 2, Birds. So this section is separated in facts and opinions. So there are some undeniable truths. It is a fact that Eren gets future memories in the manga of birds, right? Because we only see these birds in the anime. And that happens again with Historia. There is nobody on the porch. There is nobody on this porch unless the farmer is Aaron. There is nobody left on this porch to see Historia's eye from this angle except the bird that we hear in the background.
中に入ろう、ヒストリア。中に入ろう、ヒストリア。
How is he seeing this? How does he have a memory of this? He was not there. So the only explanation is he has a bird's eye view. He sees the birds. He sees Historia. He sees Falco. Aaron can control birds, or he can see through them. He has some sort of connection to birds, and again, do not ask me how. That is for Isayama to reveal. I'm just telling you the facts. Birds are being used to gather information and to relay it back to Aaron. Even in the manga, in 130, whatever the fuck that chapter was, the bird comes to Armin. And when it leaves, Armin has lost his memories, but he actually has gained some. So my opinion on this is he had to see himself fail to justify the rumbling to himself. He had to see the timeline in which it fails. My prediction is that there's going to be no adaptation of 138. And instead, that's when the divergence is going to happen. During that moment, Aaron is going to realize that he cannot do as he did in the manga. If he hasn't realized that already, but it's going to become clear to the viewer then that Aaron is aware of this time loop, or he is aware of this extra timeline where he gets a do-over. He's going to be made aware that leaving the world to his friends does not work, and instead it damns his race. But yeah, all in all, these birds are sentient. You even see in chapter 139, a bird wraps the scarf around Mikasa's neck, and she thanks the bird. It's all very ludicrous unless you freaking look at it, and in this view that these birds are being controlled by Aaron, somehow. Once is a coincidence, but if multiple sources are saying the same thing, it has to mean something. Chapter 3, Music. So for this section, I would like to lend all of the credit, all of it, literally. Don't give me an ounce of any credit whatsoever. Everything goes to Twitter user Justice for Aaron at Tenza. Hey, buddy. Pal of mine. He did all the hard work. He made this so fucking easy for me. Because look at the lyrics in some of these songs, right? He pulled them out. He made theories on them. I'm not even going to say much. I'm just going to put his tweets on the screen. No. AOE is possible? Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's likely. I mean, anything is possible. It's possible that I could be hit by lightning right now. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's going to happen. Right? Once is a coincidence, but if multiple sources are saying the same thing, it has to mean something. Don't let one or two things tell you, okay, this is a fact, right? Several things will point to this being a fact. There are timelines, there are time loops, there's a multiverse. Look, all I'm saying is possible and probable are two different things. AOE is possible. That doesn't mean it's probable. Chapter 4, Norse mythology. Now, I don't have too much to say about this because I don't study this shit, guys, but Odin. There is a lot of similarities between Eren and Odin, and we know Isayama likes Norse mythology, and it was an inspiration as well. Odin is the god of war and death, and he's accompanied by two ravens. Ravens are black birds. And in Norse mythology, birds are messengers. Birds deliver messages back and forth from Odin to Odin, etc. Does that sound a little familiar? And Norse mythology is so crazy because, like, looking at the similarities, because there is 9 realms that are destroyed in Norse mythology, but from the ashes, a new world is created. There's just so much in Norse mythology that you could just be like, damn, Isayama really... Like, there's a character named Ymir. There's the fucking tree. There's just so much. Get into it. So he definitely got the bird thing, the bird inspiration from Norse mythology. And then another interesting thing that could be a reach, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Odin sacrificed himself for wisdom. Like, he died for knowledge. He even sacrificed one of his eyes for knowledge. Girl, it's looking juicy. That's all I'm gonna say. Chapter 5, Multiverse. So Eren sees anime-only events in the manga. We know that already, right? The birds, Historia's eye, and then there's a few we haven't even seen yet. And those have to be expanded on. The Flock memory shard has to be expanded on. The Gothan nerd Mikasa has to be expanded on. I mean, look at the way it looks in the anime. It's not even an Easter egg. That's the dumbest fucking take ever. And so if you take into account this multiverse, then 139 makes more sense, right? Eren was expertly maneuvering those memories, right? To manipulate Grisha, showing Zeke what he wanted to show him, sending memories to Armin, whatever you want to say he did to Mikasa. He was an expert in those memories. But something that could be confusing, especially if this motherfucker is seeing a goth and nerd version of Mikasa, my head would be all messed up too. So that makes a little sense now. That makes a little sense if you put things into context of a multiverse. The fact that he saw goth and nerd Mikasa, I understand why his fucking head was all messed up. The past, present, and future all existing at once. AUs and shit. I get it. It makes sense. I get it. With these memories or dreams or whatever, Eren isn't sure if they're prophecy or, the past. So for the anime, the final timeline, somehow he's going to realize, A, these aren't memories of the future. These are memories of the past. This is memories of this past timeline. And it's not prophecy. It doesn't have to happen this way. I can choose what happens. And so another thing I want to bring up that I feel like should be expanded on, or I feel like we're going to get more context to in AOE, is the Frieda interaction. I'm not sure if you guys have read the King Fritz theory. Really fucking long, but it's pretty good. I'm not going to really talk that much about theories. I'm just going to talk about facts. So the thing that happened with Frieda is a fucking interaction. Right? It's not a memory. It's an interaction. Frieda never had the attack titan. So how is this possible? So what even happened there? Because she's shocked. She sees Eren. So what happened there? I feel like that needs to be expanded on. Obviously, we have proof of the multiverse because in the school cast, first of all, they say that titans haven't existed for hundreds of years. And we see the school cast Goth Mikasa and Nerd Armin in Eren's canon memories. So logic break, right? You're hearing a lot of I don't know, which could be frustrating, right? But that's the thing. It's not my story. It's none of our stories but Isayama. Only Isayama knows how these events are going to play out. Only Isayama knows how he's going to reveal, hey, this is a time loop. Only Isayama knows how he's going to make the mechanics of this work in regards to Mikasa. Only he knows that. My only goal in this video is to convince you that there is going to be an AOE and that A&R is it. Now the mechanics, all of that stuff is up to Isayama. How he's going to reveal that, how he's going to show you how that works, That's all up to him. I can only tell you my part. I can only give you the facts that are there. Now, of course, when he makes this reveal, there's going to be little foreshadowings, little breadcrumbs or whatever that we can pick up on that show us, oh, fuck, okay, that makes sense. I get it, yeah. Mikasa, yeah, the headaches work in relation to this and whatever, and then it's going to be brilliant. I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. But as of right now, this is the information we have right now. You know those time cards at the end of, like, the first 11 minutes of the episode? And it'd be like, what we know thus far. And it's like, Beast Titan, Scream, or whatever the fuck, or Zeke's Wine, or whatever. It's like a time card of, like, what we know. And I that's what's going on right now. I'm just gonna fucking say it. He knows what good storytelling is. He has to know what good storytelling is. Because he was disappointed in the end of Game of Thrones, which means he knows a bad story when he sees one. He knows a bad conclusion when he sees one. Give him some more credit, guys. 139 is so ass-pissingly bad that I understand the frustration. Look at me. I have no room to talk. I was the biggest fucking disappointed person on YouTube, on the planet. Maybe second to Saint, I don't know. But it was so fucking bad. He didn't like Game of Thrones, which means he recognizes a bad fucking story when he sees one. He loved Breaking Bad, and that's revered as one of the best conclusions to television, like, ever. So it's obvious to me that this guy knows exactly what a good conclusion is. He knows exactly what a bad conclusion is, and he intentionally gave us ass piss of a conclusion with 139. And if you can't see that, then you're burnt up. This conversation ain't for you. Like, he already gave us enough hints, in my opinion, telling us what inspired Attack on Titan. That's pretty much all the proof of AOE I need. Honestly, he's telling you, Muv Love inspired me. Something that's notorious for its second ending, right? Something that's notorious for being very disappointing in the first ending. And then having a great second ending, right? He already told you his inspirations. He already told you, like, these really good-ass stories that he was influenced by. And so what's left is, you just gotta put that shit together yourself in your brain. And then I guess the last thing I want to say is that 138 is obviously not a memory, because he would be breaking his own rules, right? Ackerman's memories cannot be tampered with. And also, it's not happening simultaneously. Like, as the rumbling's happening, chapter 138 is not happening. Those are not happening at the same time. If it was happening simultaneously, why would Mikasa say, "Do you remember now, Armin, when Eren came to visit us?" What do you mean, remember? If it's happening simultaneously, Mikasa wouldn't say, "remember." And then she wouldn't say us, right? She would say, "Do you remember when Eren came to visit you?" You? She said, "Do you remember when he came to visit us?" So that right there debunks the whole "it's happening simultaneously" thing. It's not happening simultaneously. Like, it all starts to fall apart if you think about it for more than 10 seconds, right? His hair is the same hair that he has as he's visiting Armin, right? He has the man bun, and that's what he had in present time when he visited him, right? He has the man bun. When he visited Mikasa, he has a completely different hairstyle. How does that make sense? He's wearing completely different clothes. If it's happening simultaneously, or he visited her when he visited Armin, how does it make sense that his clothes and his hair are completely different than when he visits Armin? So with that logic, it can only be a separate timeline. That's all it can be. It cannot be a memory of him visiting her when he visited Armin, because why would he change his appearance? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, moving on to Isayama's personal life. Chapter 8, Omissions and Changes. So, what proves AOE right off the bat? Right off the bat is the fact that the see you later was omitted from the anime. That fucking proves it right there. That changes the fucking game, because imagine how confused someone who's never touched the manga would be if they saw fucking 138 without the context of that see you later, Aaron. Imagine how confused they would be. It wouldn't make sense. There's nothing to connect it to. It would just be a random memory slapped in the middle of a battle scene out of nowhere. For an anime only. It would not make any sense. So that obviously means that 138 is the divergence point. So when we're coming upon, when it becomes time for Mikasa to kill Eren or whatever the fuck, approaching 138, that is when the anime will diverge from the manga. And it's my prediction that that is when we're going to see when Eren found out that there are multiple timelines, when he put it all together, that the rumbling is the only way to go to save Paradis. That is my fucking big idea. Another change made to the anime was Falco's dream. All of a sudden, he's dazed and confused. He thinks he was a 104th trainee. He was like, wasn't I just flying and killing titans just now? He can't recognize his friends, right? So this obviously has to be expanded on, because in the manga, it wasn't. It wasn't even in the manga. Which means that Eren is doing things differently this time. He sent that bird to Falco, we saw, implanted memories into him, and now we're going to see the result in AOE. It's proof that Falco has to have a bigger role in AOE, or else it's nonsensical. Doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. He has a completely different outfit on. So for that one, for the see you later timeline, with his different outfit, how could he change just because it's a memory? How could he change clothes? Why would he change clothes? Why would he change his hair in a memory? That doesn't make sense. Or in a vision that he's sending. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's a different timeline. Why would his clothes be different in his memory for when his mom died? That doesn't make sense. And then you can't say it's a mistake from Mappa, because they had a chance to change it, quote, quote, fix it when they redrew everything for the Blu-ray, but no, they didn't. They left it that way. And look at his eyebrows. So it has to mean something. Or else everybody's doing random shit that all point to A&R for no reason. And imagine the odds of that. We're all doing random shit that all correlate to A&R for no fucking reason. Get real. Come on, guys. Chapter 9, the final chapter. Congratulations, you made it. Muv-Luv. Let's talk about Muv-Luv. So, in Muv-Luv, Isayama took a lot of the elements from Muv-Luv to incorporate into Attack on Titan. And that's been explained and over-explained over and over and over. And for this, I would love to thank CHOCOPHANTASMS. I can't say that. But, girl, you did the hard work. You crawled so I could walk. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And everybody should read her doc. It's their doc. It's so good. It's so eye-opening. But what I just dragged from there, and of course, go read it yourself. It's 65 pages. But go read it yourself and get all the details, right? Because I'm just giving you the fucking cliff notes just to prove my little point. In Muv-Luv, Takaru, or however you fucking say that, and both Eren and Takaru, they both cry when they wake up from their, quote, dreams. But that are not dreams at all. They're actually memories. Whenever they're crying, they're waking up from a fucking timeline. That's how it works in Muv-Luv, which Isayama was so very inspired by. So that's obviously what's going on here. Or else why does it make sense? You know? Why? Why copy the tears and the dialogue just for no reason? Again, so many things can't just be a coincidence. You have, at some point, you have to accept the fact that this is what's happening. And if you don't, you're being dense. You're being willfully dense. Also, in Muv-Luv, there are two separate, or there could be three. I don't know. There are two main separate love interests. And Takaru's future basically changes depending on which one he chooses, right? If he chooses Sumika, then he dies and he fails, right? If he chooses Maya, then they have a kid and he succeeds. Come on, if we're saying Isayama was inspired by Muv-Luv, of course that doesn't mean he has to take every little bit and piece. But come on now. Come on now. Uprising arc, he made a nice connection with Historia. And this farmer, we don't know who the fuck this farmer is. He used to bully her, and so on and so forth. It would make more sense that he's standing there protecting her as a way to pay back his favor from bullying her when she was little. That makes more sense than, hey, pay back bullying me by getting me pregnant. That doesn't make any sense, right? So our two characters with an established bond, Eren and Historia, having a child, would make a little bit more sense. And him standing guard or, you know, protecting Historia until Eren can either get back or just protecting her indefinitely would make more sense than him being the actual father. And I would like to segue into sliding in a little extra hint. Isayama's favorite movie in 2016 was a movie called The Arrival. And this movie, it's about aliens, right? It's about like extraterrestrials. It's really, really good. But the whole twist at the end of the movie was the guy, the main character that was right in your face the entire series, or the entire movie, was the father. The entire movie, you just get little memories. You get memories of the mom doing this with the baby, memories of the mom and the father's hands, but you never see the father. It isn't until the end of the movie that you see that the father is the male main character, and he was the whole time. And that the movie in itself is a loop. It's a loop where the future affects the past. And it all determines the present. Does that sound familiar? It should. Another similarity to Muv-Luv that I want to say will be proven a similarity in AOE is that Eren and Mikasa will understand the loop or be aware of the timeline by the end. It has to go that way. It has to go that way. Because for Eren to accomplish A&R, he has to know that, you know, his plan failed in a previous timeline. There is no way to save his friends and the rest of the world unless his friends lay down their blades, right? There's no way to do both. And so this timeline, with the memories from the last timeline, right, what did the music say? The past will inform the present, or the whatever the fuck the music said. Goodbye, Halo. The beginning is guided by the end, right? And so again, we got all these separate things building up and saying the same exact thing. Muv-Luv, we already know that the Beta are basically the Titans. Takaru fails in the first timeline. He wakes up crying, And he realizes he doesn't know if what he had dreamt of was a prophecy, was it a dream, was it a memory, what was it? He doesn't know. He just wakes up crying. And then with with the information from the previous timeline, he is now better able to make his decision and save his people, save humanity in the last and final timeline. And that is exactly what's happening in Attack on Titan. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say I want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I have a little surprise. So I have a bit of a confession to make. I lied. There are not 9 chapters. There's 10. Wait for me to bring it around, bro. Wait for me to close the Ouroboros, or however the fuck you say that, right? Wait for me to tie in the numerology, right? You thought it ended at 9, but nope, there's one more. There's one more thing that proves AOE to a T. The mist. So, I purposely, intentionally decided not to talk about this until the end, because this is some fucking research I did myself, right? Everything else in this video isn't new. It's not new. It hasn't been put together like this, I hope. I hope I put a little creative spin on it, a little Brown's juice on it. The Mist is something that inspired Isayama's story, right? So first there was Muv-Luv, then there was The Mist. So Isayama said that he originally wanted his ending to be similar to The Mist. But what you probably don't know is The Mist had 2 endings. The Mist had 2 endings. And what did we say before? We said that coincidences, if they happen more than once, there is no way it's just a coincidence. Muv-Luv. 2 endings. 2 endings. The Mist. 2 endings. There's another story by Milton called Paradise Lost that also has 2 endings, but I didn't read that shit, so we're not gonna get into it. What's interesting is, in the original story, in the book, The Mist, by Stephen King, it does not end that way. In the book, The Mist, the main characters drive in the car, and it ends on a hopeful note. Will they be safe? Who knows? Will help arrive? Who knows? Will they drive out of the mist themselves? Who knows? The point is, the story itself, the book ends on a hopeful note. Will our main characters survive? Who knows? Now, this sounds a lot like 139, pre-8 pages. It ends on a hopeful note. Isayama ends the manga on a hopeful note. Armin and the Alliance just riding in the boat. Oh, we can, if we just persevere. Oh, Eren left us this mess to clean up, but we've been giving rations to the rest of the world, and oh, it's hope. And then what do the ending defenders always say? He left them the best possible fighting chance, right? So it ends on a hopeful note. And then Isayama gives you the 8 pages. Hey, you had hope that this would work? No. He gives you the 8 pages to set up A&R. He's letting you know hope does not win in this case. Both sides cannot coexist. Therefore, one has to go. And Eren has the birds relaying messages. He has paths giving him access to the memories. I don't know how this is going to play out. This is Isayama's story. He just left us enough evidence to put together that there's going to be another ending. Our battle has just begun. All of the openings and endings, they all are pointing to the same thing. If these are all coincidences, it's nonsensical. Get this video to 200 likes. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And again, thank you so much for watching till the end. I love you. And I will be posting a lot more frequently, and I'll be posting a lot more soon. So stay tuned and make sure you fucking subscribe and comment right now. Don't be a doomer. Subscribe.